AITA for walking out of my birthday party. So last week some of my 32F old buddies from high school messaged me and said they wanted to get together and celebrate my birthday. I was at first hesitant because I don't go out and hate parties, especially for myself. I usually just have a family gathering such as a barbecue and only invite my 2 closest friends. I used to be close to my high school buddies back in the day, but obviously as we get older and more responsibilities we lose contact. All of us are in our 30s now and probably only message each other once in a blue moon. My friend Sherry, 31F, was the one to message me first, and then was invited to a group chat where all my old buddies joined in. And everyone agreed this'll be a good little get-together and for everyone to get reacquainted. I finally agreed since it'll just be old buddies and I did miss everyone. Sadly my best friend wasn't able to join because of medical reasons. Anyway, I went to my friend Sherry's house and everything seemed okay. It was just a potluck with minimal alcohol. I don't like drinking. But Sherry's family seemed to be invited. It didn't bother me initially because I kept to myself and caught up with everyone. As the party went on, I started to get uncomfortable as more people showed up and with alcohol, but Sherry told me they were just going to hang in the basement and her family invited them over. But decided to leave sooner than I was planning and told Sherry this. I figured I was there for a while and needed to head back to the kids. I have 2 foster kids who my sister was babysitting. Well, Sherry flipped and said we hadn't done presents yet. And I admit I love presents, so I got excited. First everyone started handing me packages and some I was genuinely thoughtful and I appreciated it. But then Sherry handed me a box. I thought nothing of it, but when I opened the lid and looked in, I slammed it shut and tried to discreetly move the box away, but then Sherry grabbed from my hands and dumped the contents. It was filled with condoms and adult toys. So the thing about me is that I'm asexual and I don't feel sexual attraction to anyone. I had to go to therapy to learn this about myself and accept it as my normal. I tried dating and even kissed a guy once but didn't feel nothing. I let everyone know at the end of my high school year and they seemed accepting. They've been trying to set me with boys then with girls when that didn't work out. I've been single my whole life and haven't been intimate and I'm happy. I just need my family and my friends. It took me a while to accept this, but I'm happy now. But Sherry thought it wasn't normal and convinced everyone that this was an intervention. All the people who showed up and went to the basement were people willing to date me. And they didn't mind that I was a butch woman. I'm a journey woman for heavy-duty mechanics with short hair and I go to the gym often, so muscles. So I panicked and I was pissed. I stood up, not saying a word. No one seemed to notice. Everyone seemed too excited to start introducing me to the contestants, their words not mine. And I just walked out. Went home, called my sister and asked if the little ones can stay overnight. Was pissed when I got home, so didn't want the little ones to be in a bad atmosphere. Then rolled a joint and chilled in my backyard with my dog. My phone was blowing up from everyone from the party. But just didn't want to deal. Didn't want to say anything from the heat of the moment. This has been a few days ago. I still haven't messaged anyone from the party. I blocked them. Haven't told my family, they might agree with them and I'm worried, and haven't told my best friend, her medical issues got worse and don't want to worry her. Just wanted to rant and maybe some advice on how to handle this mess. I live in a small city and don't know anyone else who has the same lifestyle. Update. So a few days have passed and I've been keeping to myself mostly. Taking the kids and dogs out for walks now the weather is warmer and I admit just kinda avoiding everything. I didn't message anyone or tell anything to anyone, basically ignored my phone the whole time. Then suddenly my best friend burst into my home and scared the crap out of me. Apparently she heard what happened and has been trying to call me, but obviously I haven't been answering. She convinced the doctors to give her a day pass so she can leave for the day to check up on me, so that made me feel more guilt. My best friend sadly didn't win the genetic lottery and has a number of health problems. Since she was 12, so her going and being in the hospital isn't new, and the doctors and nurses trust her when she feels healthy enough to leave. So we went out to the back and I explained what happened and she was pissed. I then asked her how she found out because I was scared that what happened was spreading and others knew as well. But she showed me her phone. Sherry apparently messaged her and starting ranting how my best friend Tia, 32F, stole her best friend and it was her fault I don't hang out with her anymore. But I never actually hung out with her alone when we were in high school and I only really talk at school, so I don't know why she thinks I'm her best friend of all people. We decided we didn't want to deal with this brand of crazy and blocked her everywhere. I also took some advice and finally messaged the group and explained that I no longer wanted to be associated with people who thought they can change me to suit their own narrative and how hurt I was. Then promptly left the group. Tia stayed the whole day with me and invited one other close friend, James, 36M, who wasn't part of the party, to come over. And we hung out in my backyard while the kids played outside. Also, both James and Tia told me some people of the group messaged them asking to talk to me and explain their side, which I agreed. Only 3 people of the group came and explained that Sherry told them that I was interested in finally dating, and the reason why I didn't date was because I was traumatized from my father walking out when I was a kid. They thought they would go to the party for emotional support and didn't think the rest of the events would happen. They even brought the thoughtful gifts I was given that I left behind at the party. I forgave them because I was closer to them and didn't think they were lying, but others from the party agreed with Sherry and thought I was rude for walking out and didn't agree that I was asexual. So they'll remain blocked. My friends ordered Chinese and after the kids were put to bed we watched Avatar 2 and James even went out and got a small cake. So I know everything will be fine. Don't need a ton of friends, just the few I have is more than enough. Also, to answer one question I think I saw in one of the comments. My siblings are all supportive and know I'm asexual. I think my mom is a product of her time and just doesn't understand. She'll make comments about how I'll find the right one and I can't wait to see her future grandkids and such, but she doesn't push it when I remind her it might not be biological grandkids.